Hello. Usually don't do candid videos, uh, but there was I'm sure someone has seen it. There's a YouTube video of someone. It's like I'm an educated MIT neurosurgeon, and now I'm out in the middle of the woods. How did I get here? And he's just like just talking to himself, or to a camera, not to himself, for like 45 minutes in the middle of this like gorgeous area. And for what it's worth, it's pretty over there, uh, on the other side of the camera. But I'm just on my back porch right now. Um, but a lot of people ask me, why do I have my flip phone? Um, and of course, I could give some pretty dry responses, like I don't like social media, or like I spend too much time on my phone. But I haven't had a lot of time to like really just kind of sit down and like hash out with myself, like, why do I have it? So it's been like 7 months. I guess I got it in like June. Uh, and it's November now. So I guess it's been like 5 or 6 months, coming up on 6 months. Anyways, I no, I got it in May. Fuck, sorry. Anyways, there's so many reasons that I got rid of my old phone. Uh, I mean, first and foremost, I think I just look cool. Like I think a flip. There's something very aesthetically pleasing about a flip phone itself. It's ergonomic. It's meant for you to call people. Like duh. So is every phone, but swear to God, when's the last time you called someone on your phone? I mean, of course, you might call your SO or your friend if they're not answering your texts, or like, but like when I'm on my flip phone, if I want to call my mom, like I just hold five, I just hold four, I just speed dial, and like I can just sit and like have a conversation with them. And as menial as it sounds and how cliche it is, like there's so much more connection than you can get with a text. The longer I've had this, the more I've related to like older people. It's like, shut up, dude. I've heard this one before, but I'm like, damn, I wish kids would have the ringer on. But like, I actually relate to that. It's like I have my ringer on this all the time. Anyways, it's reliable too. I just dropped it on the ground. I thought I missed the pillow. Anyways, but that's not the only reason I got the flip phone. There's just so many reasons. Of course, I hated spending time on my phone. I already didn't have social media on my phone in the first place. I remember the first time I ever got rid of social media. It was freshman year of high school, like right before COVID hit, and so it's a good age verifier if you're ever curious. Who cares? You're a stranger or a friend. But I got rid of YouTube. Um, and like they didn't even have shorts back then. I'm sure they did, but it was not as addicting as it is now. But they didn't have shorts on there. I would just like watch like meme compilations like repeatedly. I got rid of Instagram and YouTube, and like instead of but like my grades skyrocketed. I noticed, like, it's like, oh my god, I was so distracted. And ever since that moment, it's kind of been this internal battle, like with like finding things that distract myself and trying to eliminate them. And so that was kind of a wake up call. And like, I was like, that's what I missed most from my phone. But instead of using Instagram or YouTube to cope with the time that I would have, I played My Singing Monsters. So I guess this was eighth grade, actually. I mean, why do you care? But my friends eventually realized that I really like My Singing Monsters. But something that I noticed that got me kind of sad was like there was this polarity. like the year I got rid of all my social media, like right before, like everyone was like wishing me a happy birthday on Snapchat, which like why did I give a shit, you know? And then but I was excited about that. Anyways, like tens of people like putting me on the story, and then a year later, no, like not a single soul put me on their story, and like, but like I didn't have social media, but I still cared, That I was like, why did I care so much about that? And so I that kind of stuck with me, you know. Um, Instagram, I've only posted 3 things on Instagram the entire time I've had it, or the time I've had an account. Uh, and ironically, the last two were the most recent, but that's with context. Most recent's been like last 2 years, last 2.5 years of like the 5 years I've had Instagram. Um, and it's funny because my parents didn't want me to have social media, but like for all the not the wrong reasons, but not the same reasons I don't want social media. They're like, oh, you'll get groomed, or like it's like, oh, someone will send you something you don't want to see. I was like a 15-year-old boy, and I was like hadn't hit puberty. I was like a super stupid, silly kid. Like that. But the real reason I shouldn't have had it in the first place is because like I never needed it. I had friends. I didn't need social media to connect with friends. That's something I've realized lately, is that people are like, I need social media to stay in contact with people or to connect with people. And of course, that's how they sell you on social media in the first place. Like that's how Facebook got so big. It was like, oh, this is a great way to show people like what I'm up to, you know? Um, if you really cared, you'd tell someone, you don't have to tell everyone. I don't want everyone to know that I had a terrible sunburn at Panama City Beach, or that my hairline's receding at 20 years old. I'm just saying. Um, that's one of the biggest reasons I got rid of my phone. And even if it wasn't social media, like sitting on the toilet, like that, I don't know why. That's just like a boredom cosmos. You're just so fucking bored on the toilet, and like that's a really big one for a lot of people. Like I hate sitting on the toilet and just wasting time on my phone. I hated that. And even now, like if I'm about to go take a dump, I'm like, I want my phone, but like, or like I want to scroll on Instagram on the toilet. But I don't do that. So like I like if there was a screen time for bathroom use, it's like 20% of what it was. Now I'm all about business. Um, a lot of the reason I ever got rid of social media was to help with my grades. Um, and I'm a junior in college now, and so that's very important to me. I've always had pretty good grades, and so I'm not saying I'm the best student. By far, I'm not close to the best student, but I mean I care. That's what counts. And like in the beginning of this year, when this school semester started, they'd see I have a flip phone and be like, "Bro, it's a grade A lock in right there." Like, bro, I wish I could lock in like that. Like, that's not why I did it. Of course, it's a huge benefit. I mean, I've gotten good grades. I landed a good job for the summer. Um, but that's not why I did it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why I did it. There's all these culminating factors, you know. Um, I thought this video would be a lot longer. Of course, it's 10 minutes long, and that's twice as long as anything I've ever posted to my 2 loyal followers out there. But I watched Eddie Burback's video right before making this video, and I don't really like a lot of larger YouTubers like that. Like he Eddie Burback is a YouTuber you would see on like the homepage of YouTube if you haven't created an account. You know what I mean? And like he locked his phone up in a safe for 1 month. And like it was, I admittedly I skimmed through it because I mean I didn't want to watch 46 minutes of someone doing something that I've done for 8 months. You know, I mean, but like it's pretty interesting how we've had similar experiences. You know, like getting directions is pretty hard. I mean, you can get that on the flip phone, but I mean it just sucks. And he talks about music as well, which by the way, I mean he got rid of his phone entirely. He didn't even get like a flip phone. He got a landline instead, which is like that's just dumb. You need to contact people. But like I got an MP3 player. It's great. It's Bluetooth. Don't think that technology hasn't caught up just because it's not on your phone. Anyways, but then he got his phone back. Like uh, at the end of the video, he did a summary and like a conclusion. It was kind of dull, you know. And no offense to Eddie Burback, I think he's a good content creator. He's better than most of the large creators. I've already said that. But then he immediately got his phone back. He's like, I don't know if life is going to go back to the way it was, but I need my phone back. But like he lived fine without his phone, and like in fact he said that he enjoyed it more. He's like, well, I'm just using my phone wrong. It's not you that's the problem. If it's happening to everyone in the world that has a phone, it's not you. It's this. It was designed to do this to you. You know. I'm just saying. I I mean, everyone I've met is like, bro, it's commendable. I spend way too much time on my phone. And I did too. It's not you, you know? I'm just saying, Eddie Burback was like, I know I keep saying, I'm just saying, on my broken record. Eddie Burback kept saying, like, it's it's the way I'm using the phone that's the problem. So when I get my phone back, I just have to use it differently. That's like saying like you're addicted to opioids and it's like it's the way that I use the drug that's the problem. Like and that's true. You know, if you abuse drugs, there's going to be a problem with it, but some drugs are very easy to abuse. And I'm not going to say that a fucking phone is as bad as like being addicted to hydros, you know? That's a terrible analogy. That's not what I'm getting at. But it's not you that's the problem. Of course, if you're like sitting on your phone for hours at a time, you have a screen time of like 10 hours. Okay, maybe that's a problem, but like it's designed like that. It's designed to trap you. God, I sound like such a conspiracy theorist. No hate. A lot of people say you need it for work, and you do. But if your job cares about you that much, they'll give you a work phone. I know plenty of people with work phones. As a college student, the only thing I needed it for is to sign into my Microsoft Authenticator app, or to like log into my Microsoft account for school. And that works fine because they can just call you or text you and it still works. And like I still have 2-factor authentication on all my things, like my Robinhood account, my Gmail, my Dropbox. I'm just saying, you don't need a smartphone for that. And as far as smart devices go, I still have plenty. I still have my laptop. I have a tablet right here. It's a Samsung Galaxy S6 Tab Lite that I use for school, only for school. I mean, I don't have any social media on it. I literally have Outlook and DuckDuckGo on it to get to my school. I mean, I constantly hear people like, I could never do that because I need it for blank. You have a laptop, or like there's so many other ways to get around it. And I understand everyone doesn't have a laptop, you know, but there's ways to get around it, you know, because what's hard about a phone is that it's always on you, you know. Like that's like imagine if I carried a laptop around everywhere, just like fucking like watching Netflix or something everywhere I go. Like that's the equivalent of what a phone is. And that's supposed to be normalized. Um, let's see here. I think I've hit most of my major topics. Music was actually a big one for me. I had like 5,000 downloaded songs on my old phone. Missed out like crazy. Apple Music and Spotify, they're really big deals. But I mean, there's plenty of good ways to pirate music. Don't tell my Wi-Fi, my internet provider. Plenty of good ways to pirate music. Put it on hard drives. Um, directions. Google Maps works with everyone. You don't even have to sign in on your phone to get directions. Contacting people. Jesus Christ, get their phone number. You don't need their Instagram handle. Um, for work, you don't need it. I know you don't. If two-factor authentication, it's already on. That's what a phone number's for in the first place. Social media. I mean, you'll have stronger connections if you don't have social media. I guarantee it. Um, I think really that's it. Um, so if someone asked me why I got a flip phone, I would sit them down for 10 minutes and shout these things at them. So, but a lot of the time I don't have that time to tell a stranger why all those things. And if I do, it doesn't make sense to them. So maybe this can elaborate those points to them. Um, someone might ask, I want this video to end. 17 minutes is way too long. I want this video to end. But as someone might ask, have you noticed a difference? And of course I have. Of course I have. It's irrefutable. You know, hold on, I'm gonna put up my hood. It's irrefutable. I mean, instead of like not going to bed, like when I'm ready to go to bed, I get up, I brush my teeth, I floss, I go to bed. You know, of course I'll call my SO before I go to bed, like I normally would, but I wouldn't play on my phone in the bathroom for 5 minutes before I brush my teeth. And um, you know what's really hard is those intermissions, like you just got home from school and all you want to do, or you just got home from work, or you just woke up, or you're about to go to bed, and you just want to play on your phone because it's like, oh, I have 30 seconds to kill. Like, let me scroll through a few posts. Oh, that 30 seconds sort of turned into 10 minutes. You know, that no longer happens. I save hours a day by not having a smartphone. Um, I I know one day I'm gonna have to get a smartphone back, especially if I ever have a kid. Because I mean, it's simply unrealistic. I mean, I do not want to. If I lived by myself forever, which isn't realistic, I'd want to keep my flip phone. Um, you don't want to use social media, but you're on YouTube right now. Yeah, but I'm still like YouTube a lot. So my bad. I try not to watch shorts, but it's hard because sometimes they look interesting. Okay, if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about getting rid of your smartphone, obviously I'd commend you. Um, you will not regret it. I know you won't. I know you think there's so many reasons why you shouldn't, but there's so many reasons why you should. And hopefully this video changes your mind on one or two of them. And if you sat through all 20 agonizing minutes of this, uh, you probably have something better to do.